Hi, my name is Justin Yomort, and today on the CNT podcast, I have my brother Jacob.
Yup.
And to close out this week of posting to celebrate my 2 years of CNT, we are going to react to the 5 biggest recent signings and trades in the offseason. So let's start it out with the Nolan Arenado and $50 million sent to the Cardinals. Do you want to start out?
Um, Honestly, I think the Rockies made a mistake. Um, I don't get why all these teams trade their franchise player instead of. I feel like it'd be easier to like build around them. But for the Cardinals, I mean, I think it was a good move. Um, they're like the third or fourth best team in their division, and this addition definitely makes them contenders to be the number one.
Again, I agree. Rockies traded a star player and a lot of money along with that. I feel like they're not going to be good for a while. And they openly said they're not going to trade Trevor Story either, which confused me. I think the Cardinals were my pick to come second in the division before this. They would still make playoffs, in my opinion. But with this trade, I definitely see them winning the division and possibly going on to the World Series. I mean, Nolan Arenado is a top 3 player in the league, best third baseman. He's won the Gold Glove, I'm pretty sure, every year he's been in the league. I don't get why they would trade him. Next we have Andrelton Simmons to the Twins. I think this is a big loss for the Angels. He's a great defensive player, and this is a huge addition to the Twins. Only helps them win the division, and it will only help them to compete for a title. They also re-signed Cruz the other day, which is going to be a big piece if he plays like he did last year.
Yeah, I think this is a great move by the Twins. Kind of a smaller addition to the team, but I feel like it'll have a bigger impact than people are saying. The defensive presence of Andrelton Simmons is gonna be huge, especially with they kind of equaled it out with adding Cruz, like getting a big bat and a big defensive player. Um, and they're already a good team, so definitely contenders for the series.
And so next one is a pretty big one. Is the Blue Jays went out and got 2 studs? You want to give your opinions?
Yeah, I think them adding Marcus Simeon and George Springer is almost guarantees them the number one spot in their division. Um, I think they have a better team than the Yankees. They have tons of young talent already, and adding two huge veteran presences to that is going to be huge. Um, I don't know why the A's would trade, or I mean, why the A's wouldn't re-sign Marcus Simeon. He's been on the team forever, and he's one of the most underrated players in the league. So that's a big loss for them. Um, and George Springer leaving the Astros. Kind of expected it to happen, but I think the Blue Jays definitely got absurdly better.
I think they honestly have one of the better infields. I mean, this is just my prediction for their starting infield. Vlad at first, he's lost a lot of his weight, so he's gonna be a lot speedier, and I think overall a lot better. And then that second, you got Bo Red Biggio, super underrated. I mean, people say he's good, but like people don't realize how good he's been in recent years. Then shortstop, I think they're gonna keep Bo Betchett there, and then put Marcus at third base. Like that, those are all people who are easily can be stars. And then they also have go out and get George Springer, a top 3 center fielder, which is one of the big needs.
Top three center fielder.
I think he's top 3. I think.
I don't know
I mean,
about
I
that.
don't consider Cody Bellinger or Mookie Betts center fielders. I think they're left and right. I mean, it just depends on who you think fits in as a center fielder. I think he is. I think he's still in his prime, like he's exiting it. I think he's gonna be a huge help to the young guys. I honestly, the Blue Jays are my pick to win the AL.
Yeah, I could see it.
And then so next up we have Jock Peterson to the Cubs.
Let's go.
As a Cubs fan, I'm very excited to see Jock play for us. I mean, I'm not a big Dodgers guy, but he was one of the players I liked to watch when I did watch those games. I feel like he was really good, and I feel like overall this helps replace the whole of Kyle Schwarber. And if honestly, this might sound a little biased, if we go out and get a few more pitchers, let's say we somehow sign Trevor Bauer or something, probably unlikely, but and we just get a decent pitching, I feel like we could be contending. I feel like people underrate us and overhate us a lot, as Baez, Bryant are both pretty hated and loved at the same time. I feel like if they played like they did when we won the World Series in 2016, we'll easily be big contenders. But it really depends on how those two play.
Yeah. I think I don't know if he can replace Kyle Schwarber. I haven't. I don't know. I mean, I feel like they're kind of the same skill level, like in their own different ways. But with how Kyle Schwarber's been playing recently, I could see Jock Peterson being a better addition. But yeah, if the Cubs, if all the players they have play like they did in 2016, then with the addition of Jock Peterson and hopefully a few more pitchers, I feel like we could definitely contend for to win the division. I don't know if our team's better than the Cardinals at this point, but if they play like they did in 2016, I definitely could see it happening.
I agree. I agree. We also got Trevor Williams recently, who's a solid pitcher to have. But we have
Yeah.
lost. We've lost a lot. We lost Yu Darvish, which was mind blowing. I mean, he's a top five pitcher right now. Finished second in NL Cy Young. I don't get why we would trade him.
Bro, the Padres, no chance they don't win it all. They have Yu Darvish and Blake Snell and the already almost a World Series team. Like, bro, they had the best offseason easily.
I don't know. I feel like the Blue Jays maybe. Blue Jays.
Blake Snell's like top 5 pitcher in the league. Yu Darvish
He's top
is like,
three in my opinion.
Yu Darvish is like top 15. They added both of them to an already okay rotation and a huge lineup. Like, bro, they're set.
I don't think they're gonna win it this year. I think they're gonna win it next year when Mike Clevenger's back because he's out
And
for 2020.
didn't they get him,
They got him at the midway point,
bro?
but he's out for the 2021 season.
They're the best team in the league.
I do think that. I think it's gonna be Blue Jays Mets, and I think the Mets are gonna take it. Yeah, they got Lindor and Carrasco. Already have the one of the better rotations. I think they're gonna surprise a lot of people. I think Pete Alonso is gonna cement himself as a top 3 first baseman. I think Jeff McNeil's is gonna take a huge step forward, and I have Lindor as MVP and Jacob DeGrom as Cy Young.
MVP.
Yeah, I truly think Lindor's gonna
what's with
do
you and
so
the
good.
Mets? The Mets aren't that good.
I mean, I feel like Lindor's he's gonna see this new change of scenery, and he's just gonna be insane this year and for years to come.
I mean, he's good, but
I mean, he's the best
also,
shortstop in the league.
I guess it is easier to hit home runs in New York. Like, that's a known thing.
And the only reason I have them not make I have the Mets over the Padres is because of Mike Clevenger being injured.
I don't know. I feel like with 2 of the best pitchers in the game in your rotation, and like players like Tatis and Machado, like I feel like that outweighs it. But I don't know.
I mean, the Mets, they have the best pitcher. They have DeGrom. Our next one is Kyle Schwarber to the Nationals. I feel like the Nationals also had a great offseason. They also picked up John Lester, who's going to help. I mean, they just picked up the pieces they need to go out and contend for another title. I feel like Kyle Schwarber is going to be really well there if they use him as DH only, assuming they keep the DH in the NL. I feel like Schwarber there is probably one of the better fits. I feel like, as a Cubs fan, I liked him, but I feel like he truly did need a change of scenery. And I feel like this is really going to help him evolve his game and maybe even compete for Comeback Player of the Year or something. I feel like the Nationals, Mets, Padres, and Blue Jays all had the best off seasons, and you could put it in any order. I feel like those are the 4 best teams right now. Maybe not Nationals, but their division is stacked. I have 4 out of the 5 teams making playoffs.
Yeah, I think I don't really know. I don't know if Kyle Schwarber is one of those pieces that's going to boost you back up to the top. I think if they play him as DH and not in the field, because no offense, Schwarber, but he's a horrible defensive player. So I think if they run him as a DH, like if they're allowed to, it'll definitely boost their chances, because they won in 2019, right?
Yeah.
The whole thing. I don't know. I mean, they definitely could make the playoffs. I just don't know if they have the pieces and the assets to compete with some of the other teams like the Yankees, the Mets, the Padres, all those kinds of teams.
That's true. I mean, they still have Scherzer and Strasburg, two top 10 pitchers right there.
Didn't uh not Strasburg. Max Scherzer, didn't he have a bad year though?
Yeah, but I think he's gonna have a bounce back. Yeah, I mean, it's Max Scherzer. He's a top three pitcher. I feel like he's gonna come back to his true form and
I
be
feel like
top
the
in it
Nationals
again.
are like the dark horse team.
I
Kind
can
of
see
like the
that.
Phillies, like teams that definitely have the players. It just kind of all has to like fall into place.
I agree. I can definitely see that happening. I feel like they had a great off season. They picked up a lot of pieces.
They did make good additions. I like it when teams makes like few additions, but those additions are all good ones.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you make tons of moves and like some of them are good, some of them are bad, it's like it just doesn't really make any sense. But like if you make few moves that all benefit your team, unlike what the Cubs did, like they lost Schwarber, they lost Darvish, they lost Lester, and they gained Jock Peterson. So it was like getting Jock was good, but losing all those players, like, is it really worth it?
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like teams like the Nationals and the Padres and the Twins did have like really good.
I
Seasons.
also think that the Blue Jays did too. I
Yeah, the
honestly,
Blue Jays. The
I
Blue
give the
Jays.
Blue Jays the best offseason. I think they're gonna be a team to reckon with for many years. I've always liked the team, and I feel like the young guys are starting to develop. I mean, Vlad, like I said before, he's lost a lot of weight. I feel like he's really gonna take a huge step forward.
Yeah, I just don't like it. Is you got to take into account Springer and Simeon have both played in L.A. Well, Oakland and L.A. Their whole no, not L.A. Oakland and Houston their whole careers basically, and that's like the atmosphere in those stadiums versus the atmosphere in the Toronto stadium and like the weather, like it definitely does play a huge part. So it will take them time to get used to, but I think if
Mm-hmm.
they adapt well to it, the Blue Jays have one of the best teams in the league for sure.
I agree. Thank you all for watching this episode, and thank you for all the support between these 2 years, and thank you again for watching all episodes and supporting me through all of this. I hope you enjoyed the week of post. I just want to do something special for the 2 years.
You killed it.
Thank you. I'll see you all back on March 1st. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you then.
Peace out.